Why are people happier in retirement? Actually, my wife and I were talking about this yesterday. We know the evidence is through the roof that the vast majority of retirees are satisfied in retirement. So a guy yesterday, my live stream, was saying seniors will have to work until they die. No one can afford anything. No one can afford food. Oh, this is just as silly. I don't understand. I get it, man. Fear-mongering sells. Fear-mongering sells. Satan wants you to live in fear. And yet, if you look at retirees, at least in the good old US of A, which is what I care about, because I'm an American, as the vast, vast, vast majority of you are too. And if you're not American, you wish you were. We all know that, because America rules. Anyway, is that an ethnic slur, Ron? America rules, everybody else drools. Is that an ethnic slur? A guy posted, he said, I said an ethnic slur because I said America has clean clothes and the rest of the world doesn't. Because we have electricity to have washing machines and or clothes dryers, and the vast majority of the rest of the world doesn't. Anyway, I just kind of chuckle at that. I still think that's funny. Somebody actually said that. Like, oh my goodness. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, so my man Andrew Biggs, among others, if anyone wants to dive into this, which they don't, because it would go against the whole narrative that that everyone's miserable in retirement. We're all going to run out of money. We're all going to be sitting in our own stinky diaper, and we're all going to be eating cat food. The vast majority of retirees are satisfied. And that's exactly where you should be. You want to be satisfied. Absolutely. Anyway, why though? Because the vast majority of retirees certainly aren't wealthier beyond our wildest dreams. I mean, certainly relative to the rest of the world they are, but you're not sitting there snapping your fingers and then your Nelson, your butler comes and delivers a freaking T-bone, you know what I'm saying, or a ribeye. So why are the vast majority of retirees satisfied? And I would even go a step further, say happy, if not relatively happy to happy. And the reason is my wife said it. She goes, as I get older, I just don't care that much. I just let things fall off my, slide under, what does it say? Just let it roll off my back. Things that used to frustrate me and make me mad, they just don't anymore. I forgot what we're talking about. We were talking about something last night as we're going to go night-nights. And I forgot. She had mentioned something. I said, man, that sucks. She goes, yeah, normally it'd make me mad, but I just like whatever. I said, I wonder why that is. She goes, I just think as I get older, I just relax. I get chilled. I said, there's evidence of that, actually. We have studies that says as people age, they just don't take things as serious anymore. They say, look, man, at the end of the day, all the things I used to worry about never came to fruition. I never got nuked. I never lived under a bridge. I always had my cot and 3 hots met. It might not have been perfect, but I survived. And here I am. You just have more experience, more time to recognize that you survived just fine. And all the naysayers, all the fear mongers and everything, all that, it never came to fruition. It doesn't mean things can't come to fruition. Can we get bombed la Dresden? Sure. Can the North Koreans or the Chinese light a nuclear weapon off and give us an EMP? Potentially. I don't know so much about that anymore, but let's just say yes. I don't know. They force you to take a jab that you don't want to take, and that gives you myocarditis. Absolutely. All these things can happen. Has it ever happened in your lifetime, in your lifespan? No. What's the worst you recall? The Reagan recession, the 2008. All right, what happened exactly? Well, I filed bankruptcy and I had to sell my house for a song relative to what I paid for it. I took a loss. Okay. But yet here you are, still alive and kicking to talk about it. Right? Yeah. Did it kill you? No. 1982 was pretty bad. Really? Was it really bad for you? Because I was 12 years old in 1982. And I'm 51 now. So if 1982 is real bad for you, the vast majority of you guys are probably, we'll just say, 22. You're still in college or still figuring out what you're going to do. Now, you might have had a hard time finding work, but you're on the front end of your living, so that didn't really affect you too much, other than maybe you had to take some crap little job for a couple of years before the economy got back to even Steven. Well, I remember my grandma in the Great Depression, all right? Yeah. Still 75% of the population was employed at the height of the unemployment of the Great Depression. I just want to point that out. Starvation simply didn't happen that much in the United States. It doesn't mean people had freaking food coming out their ears, but a hell of a lot of people survived just fine. Even people in Appalachia, even people in the Delta regions of Mississippi. It wasn't great, but they survived just fine. And that is the minority of the population as a whole. War, of course, is horrible. No one wants to go to war, which is my whole thing about sending weapons and money to Ukraine. It's like, dude, we're just asking for war, and let's not do that. War is bad. War creates huge amounts of chaos. Like we just aren't familiar with the United States because the last war we really had on American borders wasn't Pearl Harbor, wasn't September 11th. It was Civil War. And again, ersatz and the Confederacy. And I forgot the lady's name who had written that book. You want to hear about the horrors of war or Savage Continent? I forgot the guy who wrote that book. I got them both. Read them both. They're fantastic. About the horrors of war. Read both those books, man. Because that is horrible. The likelihood of that happening, not high. You think China's going to overrun the United States? No. Russia? No. No. So who? Mexico? No. Canada? Come on, Trudeau. Come on, man. No. There's a reason why, even though it's probably an urban myth, urban legend, a rifle behind every blade of grass, a rifle behind every blade of grass keeps America free. Don't forget, wars are going to be fewer and fewer fought anyway with human beings because there's less and less people. China has a population that's dwarfing, it's declining. Russia doesn't have enough young people anymore. Europe is dead. There's just not enough young people to fight these wars because the population is declining. Maybe India and Pakistan will go to war. I mean, maybe that's none of our business. Of course, Russia, Ukraine is none of our business either. Ukraine's not part of NATO. We have no obligations to defend non-NATO countries. Be it as it may. Anyway, but even the United States, I mean, the wars are of young men being sent to their slaughter by evil doers in the office, be it, LBJ, George Bush, Truman, freaking FDR, Woodrow Wilson, Lincoln, Jefferson Davis, the evildoers who send young men off to war to fight their stupid battles while they sit back and get rich. Those days are coming to an end. There are just not enough young people to fight these battles anymore. And as such, the days of the wars creating all this chaos probably coming to an end. Now, there can be certainly days of bombings, who knows what kind of missiles could be sent. I get all that. That's different than a horde of commie soldiers coming to your house while you're starving to death and your husband has lost a leg because he fought on behalf of Hitler when Hitler conscripted him, even though he was just trying to freaking make ends meet. He was sent to the front to fight on behalf of Hitler. He got his leg blown off, and now he's sitting there with no legs. He can't serve his freaking wife and kids, so his wife has to sell her soul for rock and roll to get a piece of bread. So she has to sell her soul to freaking commie soldiers to get a piece of bread in order to feed the family. Yes. That is hell on earth, in my opinion, 100%. And that did happen. Could it happen again? Sure. Will it happen again? I highly don't think so. Highly doubt it. Could mobs of, could the cost of fertilizer come so high that people don't have enough food and mobs of starving people, come freaking Antifa activists, come bust down your house and steal your food and shackle you? Sure. Of course that could happen. I mean, come on. I'm not saying anything can't happen. That's silly. The likelihood is not very high. So what is it exactly that you're worried about? And as you get older, you just say, I've had these worries for so long, and it didn't happen. And I've been through recessions. I've been through huge market crashes. Just didn't do that much relatively to where I am today. I was able to survive. I mean, it sucked during that time. Scary, man. 2008 was freaking scary. Hell, 2001 and 2 was scary. Getting laid off is scary. The thought of being laid off is scary. The thought of getting laid off is scary when you get a mortgage. The thought of getting sick, all that's scary. There's not much you can do about not getting sick about other than doing what I'm doing, is going for a walk. I'm breathing that air. Okay, I was going to make a comment about a certain respiratory disease, but I won't. Getting that vitamin D, loving God's abundance that he shares with us for some unknown reason. I don't know why. We certainly don't deserve it. But the older you get, just the less stress you get, the more relaxed. Now, my wife made the point. It's weird because there are still some cranky old men and women. I'm 100%. I mean, it's not applicable to everybody. I guarantee you got some cranky old man in your life. You're like, that you know of, like, man, that guy's just an ass, man. What's his deal? Well, his deal is he's just not happy. He never will be. He never was. And some of those guys lived through their work, and now they're no longer working. They feel, they just feel without. Like they have no meaning. And a lot of them were kind of executives or higher ups where people would listen to them. And now that people aren't listening to them because of their rank, they're like, I need to assume authority kind of by being an ass. Yeah, I've seen that. You've seen it. I don't know about a lot of military personnel, but I could imagine being a general. Like, who was I thinking about the other day? The guy that Trump, Mattis, General Mattis. Everyone snapped to attention when he walked by. Whoa. Some Speedy Gonzalez back there taking that curb too fast. See this right here? Many a car has crashed into that curb right there. And there's a curb right there. Many a car has gone right into that and gone through that guy's fence. Probably 5 since we've been here. Crazy. I've had cars going down in there. Isn't that nuts? Anyway, I heard that noise like, yikes. So he was taking that curb too fast, which is another reason as you get older, don't take curbs too fast. Don't climb on ladders. Don't try to live a 30-year life like lifting stuff over your head that you just don't have the strength for or the bone structure anymore. Just don't do that. I mean, I hate to say it, but there are things you can't do anymore. You got to hire that stuff out. That sucks. You're like, I used to never thought I'd do that. Well, you get older, man. Chill. But anyway, so General Mattis, he used to be able to have everyone snap to attention. Now you see him in civilian gear, you're like, he's just an old man. Take him out of his military uniform, you're like, it's just another guy in a suit. It's amazing what clothes can do, actually. Which is why all the financial advisors wear fancy smancy suits. And all the realtors drive fancy cars. There is something about that, the aura of success. And if you're successful, I want to be attached to you. I want you to shine some of that success on me. Anyway. So as you age, you just chill. You're like, man, all these things that used to worry me don't worry me. Or I was able to survive. I get older, I see that stuff was just waste of time and energy worrying about that crap. So what are you wasting time and energy now worried about? You know what I'm saying? Just what? What is it? You're going to run out of money in retirement. You're not going to run out of money. You're not. You know why? Because Social Security will be there. Now, again, you might not live in the lap of luxury, but you look at this guy. You got some guy over here fishing. Some old guy here fishing. A beautiful, beautiful day. How much does that cost to do that? I don't know if y'all can see it. I hope you can see him fishing over here. I can't tell if you can see him. How much does it cost to go fishing on a beautiful spring day? Not much, man. Guy's getting fresh air. He's getting the sun. He's thinking. Just calm, chill, collected. Tough life. Just old. You get old, you start saying the things that used to worry me sick just don't worry me so much anymore. Now, I'm 51, so I'm still at the, hopefully at the precipice of my monetary worries. I was listening to Owen Benjamin yesterday talk about he's never had issues with Satan challenging him on various things, but the one thing he always had was the worry over money. What if they take my family? What if they take my farm? What if I'm no longer making money anymore? Dude, I think about that all the time too. And the funny thing is Owen Benjamin's got no debt, and I do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I get that worry. You know, what if I never have another client? What if no one watches my videos? What if YouTube takes me off? All that stuff. You know, it's a worry. When that time comes, I'll have to deal with it. Until that time comes, I'm going to try not to worry about it. And as the older I get, the less in debt I have, the less I need to worry about it. Same with you. Don't have debt, you don't have to worry so much. Why's that guy driving in the middle of the road? What the hell's that guy doing? Clown Central. That's the thing. And one of the worries you don't have to do is when you get older. I mean, when you got no debt, the kids are grown. I mean, you're always going to worry about your kids. I get that. I get it, man. But you don't have to worry about them financially so much anymore. You don't have to worry about them in school. Now you just got to worry about their health. 100%. I'm not denying that, but that's a worry that'll never go away. But the worries that you had a lot of times before about financial stuff and those things people just making you mad. It just rolls off your back. All right. Love your thoughts. We'll see you.